Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Sam Talks Books, and welcome if you're new. Today we are going to be doing a review on The Lighthouse Witches. I read this book in October and I gave it 5 stars. I've been dying to do a detailed review on this one. I'm so excited to be jumping into this one. So we're just going to talk a bit about what it's about and then get straight into it. This book we follow Liv, who is moved to this island haven with her 3 daughters Sapphire, Clover and Luna. It's pretty much an isolated island with a small community of people. The island is said to be cursed by these witches that had been burned centuries ago, but Liv does not believe in this curse. However, children had started disappearing in the past and a lot of things happen. One day, Liv and her children all disappear, apart from her one daughter, Luna. So in this book, we jump between two different timelines. We do it between 1988, where Liv has just moved to the island, and it's the lead up to the disappearance of her and her other 2 daughters. And 21 to Luna, who is now an adult. It's been 22 years. Luna is now an adult, and one day Luna receives a phone call that her sister has been found. The only problem is when Luna goes to see her sister for the first time in so long, her sister is still 8 years old, the very age she was when she went missing. And the book really takes off from there. We jump between the 2 timelines, trying to discover how this family disappeared, why Clover is still 8 years old. There's a lot of mystery to this book. It is so good. So Luna decides that it's time to go back to Lion Haven, the place where it all happened, to try and learn the truth. She doesn't have many memories of what happened while living there, but the truth could be much darker than she actually thought. We do jump between the 2 timelines, like I said, and not once while jumping between each timeline was I wishing to rush back to the other one. Both timelines are so well planned out and thought out, and there's so much stuff going on in each one, equally as much secrets coming out in one and it does in the other. It's planned out so you've got just the right amount coming out and in the right timeline as well. It never felt like, oh, this secret shouldn't have been coming out in this part, I should have come out in the other timeline. It never felt like that. I never felt like I was enjoying one timeline more than the other. I enjoyed both of them equally. They were just so good. There was like a really good storyline happening in each one. Like, for example, in 1998 you're following Liv, and obviously Luna's a kid still, and you got Clover and Sapphire, and it's all the lead up to what's going to happen. And then in 2021 you're following Luna, who's now being reunited with her sister, who is still 8 years old, and she's trying to discover what happened. They both fit so well together that I just had such a brilliant time. This book also had the right amount being revealed at the right times. It never felt like there was too much being revealed or too little. It was just done in the right amount to keep you interested in reading this book, which I definitely did. It just serves so much more hype than what it's getting. You know, C.J. Cook knows how to write a book, pull you in, hook you, and keep you hooked till the very end, not let go. And even when the book's finished, you're just left thinking about this book, which is, I definitely was left thinking about this book even after I finished it. Even now, I'm just like, oh my god, this is just so good. The creepy, eerie setting of this book on this island that's isolated, it was just the perfect setting. I remember thinking, like, this is such the perfect read for Halloween, although I would still say you can read this whenever you want because it's just a chilling read. So if you're looking for something that's spooky and you want the house in the back of your neck to stand up, and something that's thrilling and creepy, then I'd say go for this one. This book honestly is just so atmospheric in more ways than I could have asked. I just did not expect it going, like, when I first picked this book up, for it to literally pull me in and engulf me into the world and make me feel chills literally reading this. And I just wanted to uncover the truth of why Clover's still 8 years old, why the family disappeared, what happened. And I don't think I could have quite guessed it. There are so many twists and turns in this story, so many surprises that I did not see coming, that genuinely shocked me. And the ending, I couldn't have guessed. The ending was so amazing and so smartly done. Is that a word? Smartly done. I just did not see that ending coming. The explanation to how it all happened and why all this happened, the conclusion was just, oh my god, it was so good. I actually cried reading this book. There was a moment in this book where I got really emotional, and again, did not expect that from a thriller. Like, did not expect it. But this book made me cry. It made me feel a lot of things. It made me feel scared, chilled, everything. It's just, oh my god, C.G. Cook is brilliant. Like, how she can do this is just incredible. But yeah, I think the one thing that I loved most about this book was the ending. It was just so unexpected. No matter how much I tried to figure out, I don't think I quite could have come to that conclusion. It was just a surprise, and that's what I love, that the author could do this and still surprise you even when you think that you've got it figured out. You don't, because then she just turns it and you're like, oh, okay, wow, she's just so talented. I was just so intrigued and overwhelmed and fully hooked into this book that when I finished it, I was like, oh, is that it? Literally, I would say halfway through that this was going to be a 5-star read. I won't lie, I was very worried that the ending would not live up to the expectation, but it exceeded that expectation. It was just not what I expected, and I couldn't have asked for anything more than the ending that she gave. I was not disappointed. You know, there's nothing I can think about with this book that I didn't like. Generally, I loved every single thing and moment, every character, every single little detail in this book. The story was just so well thought out and so creative. The characters all had their own individual personalities, were well written, well developed. The island was just beautifully and creepily created. And the twists and turns in this book, like I said, was just so unexpected. And the ending, as I've said probably a numerous amount of times now, was just absolutely brilliant. I can't fault this book, and I can't recommend this book enough. If you were thinking about getting this book and reading it, do it. You will not be disappointed. I hope you'll love it as much as me. It is so good, and yeah, you won't be disappointed. I highly doubt that you'll be disappointed by this book. If you have read this, let me know what you thought. But before we do wrap this video up, the only thing I will say is this book is labelled as a horror, I think, thriller. I will pull it up here what it actually is. I could be wrong. I didn't really see the horror part in it. For me, horror is more like gory, gross scenes. And this book didn't have that, but it did have the thrilling aspect of it, which is what I loved most of all. However, there is one scene in particular that I guess could be classed as horror. I don't really know. I think that just depends on principle of, is it the right word, principle? What is the word I'm looking for? I guess it just depends on the person what they class as horror. Personally, I don't class it as horror. It was just very chilling. I don't think because I didn't feel like the horror aspect of this book was there, it was a disappointment. You might read it and think, oh no, that's definitely horror, and it could just be me. Again, like I said, it's personal. Is it preference? Why can I not think of that word? It's just based on the person. We're just going to say that. Yeah, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit now. I really hope you guys enjoyed my review for the Lighthouse Witches. If you end up picking this up and reading it, please let me know what you thought. And if you already have, let me know what you thought. I would love to know if you felt the same way about this book. If you enjoyed this video though, hit that like button, subscribe, it would mean the world to me, and turn on your notification bell so you get alerted when I next upload. And until next time, bye!